it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every
got our speed square. We found some plans on Pinterest, and this is our square, and the sun is going down and the temperature's dropped like 10 degrees. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. We are jumping right in and starting with the door facelift. I sanded the door down, primed it, and then I started measuring my trim. This trim came from Lowe's. It is 1 1/4 inches, and I made sure that it was not rounded. And then we are going to measure it and then cut it with the saw.
I know that it's getting cold, the waves are crashing in. When the streams are getting strong, just hold on to me. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light.
Once we've measured and cut the trim down to size, we're going to cut it at a 45-degree angle. I taped all of the pieces together to get every piece the same angle, and then we're going to take it to the door and glue it down.
Together, things still get better. You just believe it. Yeah, it's getting cold, the waves are crashing in. When the streams are getting strong, just hold on to me. Yeah, I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light. I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light.
To get your measurements, draw your square on your door with a pencil. The left, top, and right boards on the top square will come in 3 inches from the sides and the top. The left and right sides on the bottom square will come in 3 inches, and the bottom board will come up 6.5 inches. The gap by the door handle is 5 inches, so that determines where you put your 2 remaining pieces. It may sound a little complicated, but it's easy once you get everything laid out, and I've added a picture to the screen to show you.
When the streams are getting strong, just hold on to me. I'm your lighthouse.
We're going to be using Loctite Power Grab Ultimate Glue, and we're going to hope that it sticks because the temperature is dropping like crazy.
I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light.
As you can see, the sun went down, so we were trying to get this done as quick as possible. Once we glued down the boards, we used painter's tape to hold them in place, and then we let it dry overnight.
I'm your lighthouse, I'm the sun against your dark clouds. I will always be your guiding light.
Another day, another final check-in. This is the 3rd coat of the Valspar cabinet paint. I'm glad that I primed first because this is covering way better than the cabinet doors. It also helps that there's not very much to paint. Tomorrow we are going to work on painting the rest of the walls. We're going to move the appliances out. We are going to start the flooring. So right now it looks like this. It is, it's fine, it's tile, but I picked it out 10 years ago, and houses and styles change. It is finally floor day. I'm going to climb down here, clean the floors really good, and then we are going to move the washer over there and start the floor process.
smile that makes.
I started by cleaning the floors and popping off the quarter round. I found out that the people that laid our tile put it back on with a hot glue gun. Hiring them was a mistake, but you live and learn.
Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you.
Next, I touched up the trim paint and painted the walls behind the dryer. Using a roller this time worked much better than the brush.
You, I know it's alright. You read my mind, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love.
We're kind of doing this a weird way because we just want to move the washer and dryer once. So I'm painting the trim, painting the walls, cleaning the floors, and then we're going to put the flooring down as soon as the paint dries, which will be in about like 15 minutes. I know this is a whole lot of back and forth, but we're just trying to work in sections and get this all done before bedtime.
The love, yeah.
The tile cleaner had to sit on the floor for 15 minutes, so while it soaked, I painted the trim and tried not to slip and slide in the cleaner.
You got a smile that makes the sun rise.
Also, don't worry about the parts on the trim that I missed. The quarter round covered it up and you can't even tell.
And that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love.
I just finished cleaning the floors with this tile and stone cleaner. Then I'm going to wipe the floors down with some rubbing alcohol, and then we will start placing all of the floors. I watched a YouTube video that said to lay these out and match the tiles up because in the box it says you may find a slight variation in design match from tile to tile. So we just wanted to make sure that the lines will match up. We're going to start in this corner right here. As you can see, the people that did our tile did not do the best job. There's no reason that they should have had this tiny little cut here. So to make it look good, we're going to start in that corner and then move backwards. Ready? First one.
I've been trying hard to keep my cool, but when you're near, there's nothing that I can do.
I didn't have a tile roller, so I used this weight to kind of smash it down, but the rubber on the weight transferred onto the tile, so then I had to clean it off. I used the weight on the edges of the tiles, but they didn't really need to be weighed down. They stuck really well to the ground.
Come down, boy, you are the only thing I want.
Let me tell you about this first tile. It was one of those slight variation tiles, except none of the lines matched at all. I tried to match up several different tiles to see if it would help, and it didn't. I ended up having to pull it up and punched myself in the face. I put down a new tile and started all over again. That seemed to work out really well, and I was able to move down the wall easily.
Say you wanna hear me call your name. Tell me that you want me, don't play
tiles going in a straight line, I needed to trim the side that touched the wall. I used some heavy-duty craft scissors and I was able to cut the tiles just fine. I did not need a box cutter like was suggested.
Bring us down, bring us down. But I don't wanna love you if you don't love me back, baby, back, baby, back, baby, back, baby, back. 'Cause I don't wanna love you if you don't love me back, baby, back, baby, back, baby, back, baby, back. Yeah, I've been waiting too long for you. Oh, I don't wanna love you if you don't love me back, love me back, baby. Don't you know I waited such a long time? Can't you see I wanted it to be us now? Darling, if you knew how this would turn out, we let the stars shine bright. Yeah, I've been waiting too long for ya. I don't wanna love ya if you don't love me back.
I was a little nervous to do the cut around the floor register, but I just laid the tile on top and took the scissors and kind of notched it out until it fit right. In a few minutes I will do the other side, but I'll have to take a Sharpie and stick my hand into the register and mark it that way. At this point it was getting pretty late, and when I went to do a cut, I accidentally did the opposite of what I was supposed to do. So you saw me cut a little notch, and I'm going to actually use that as my stencil for the new tile. Thankfully, I only made that mistake once.
Closed off, that's what I told ya. Soon enough, everything started to change. 'Cause there's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying highs. Riding on the dizzying highs. Felt like nothing could stop us. Sunsets, remember the colors.
I don't know if it was absolutely necessary, but I feel like wiping down the floor with a little bit of rubbing alcohol before each tile really helped make sure the floor was clean and the tile stuck well.
Wide-eyed, you and I floating on air in my mind. 'Cause there's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying highs.
Here you see me struggling to find a tile to match the pattern. I had to go through several of them before I could get the lines to match up. Peeling the backing helped me line the tiles up a little bit better to make sure they were a good fit. Other than this and the first tile, the floor pop tiles were really easy to work with.
Everything's so much better, riding high on your river. You and I, we're climbing way up together, standing on dizzy heights. You make everything so much better, riding high on your river. You and I, we're climbing way up together, standing on dizzy heights. There's no going back, no going back. There's no going back to your old life. Not living in the past, we're over that. I'm feeling it tonight, riding on the dizzying highs. Oh, I'm standing on the dizzying highs.
For this project, I was working with about a $300 budget. I ended up using 4 boxes of tile for the floor. The total for the flooring came to $45. The trim for the door was $8. The paint for the walls was given to me by a friend, and the paint for the trim I already had in my garage. That just leaves the decorations, hardware, shelf, and paint for cabinets and doors. This brings my total to $303.
Standing on the dizzying heights.
This is where we are right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put the 2 pieces here so when the door closes it'll be full. Still not sure if I'm gonna go into the bathroom or not, but I'm pretty impressed. It took longer than I anticipated, but it looks. Ignore the state of my house. It's like 40 degrees outside, so I'm having to do this in the living room. But I have sanded down all the corners, filled it full of wood filler, let that dry, sanded it down with fine sandpaper, and then down here we have put caulk all around the edges, so whenever we paint it, it will just look nice and seamless. We did have an issue here where one of the corners wouldn't stick, so we put a staple in it. Now it's got wood filler in it, and I'm gonna sand that down and hope for the best. I'm about to start painting this door. It is currently 10:15 at night on a Friday, so big plans. We went ahead and put caulk around here to make it seamless, filled these corners with wood filler, sanded them down, and then I did a layer of primer. I'm going to be using this Valspar Door and Trim oil-rich enamel in the color Carbonized. It's a dark charcoal, almost black. So let's get started. I put on the first coat of paint and it was kind of streaky, so I let it dry for 12 hours and then I put another coat on, but I forgot to film it. With the second coat, it covered much better, and you will get to see that at the end of this video. This is the last day of prep for all of these doors. These are the 4 cabinet doors from my pantry, so they get used the most. I'm going to do a coat of this polyacrylic. I'm going to do 1 coat tonight, wake up, sand it, and do another coat in the morning, just because these get the most wear and tear and I want this to last as long as possible. I do not want to do this again. But the cabinet doors that go over the washing machine, those have 4 coats of this enamel. They'll be cured by probably Sunday. So I'm just gonna hang those up. But right now, I'm going to watch To All the Boys I Loved Before and use this.
Crazy, looking at me with those eyes. Yeah. Put some music on, turn the lights down low, throw the pillows off the bed. Blow the candles out, move your body slow. If you got something on your mind, I might try to help you let it go.
last two cabinet doors. I finished doing the polyacrylic on them today. And last night I went ahead and hung these because they did not get a coat of polyacrylic. It's already looking much better.
I'll be fine. Put some music on, turn the lights down low, throw the pillows off the bed, blow the candle.
Now that these doors are hung, are you ready for the big reveal? I am so proud of myself and so happy with how this turned out. I am happy to say that our laundry room is finally finished. This is what it looks like. We painted the cabinet doors Sherwin-Williams Snowbound. Changed the fixtures to gold, although I kept the original hinges because I didn't want to switch those out. These finally came in these scoops, so we have Draft scent boosters and Downy scent boosters. And here we have dryer sheets. Laundry pods sitting on this cute stand. Our dust pans. This really cool rolling cart came from Amazon. Right now I have some Lysol wipes, a ton of dish soap, and my Caldrea sprays, and the bottom shelf is still empty, so we have some space that we can fill up. This door turned out fantastic, especially for someone with zero carpentry skills. I put 2 coats of paint on it, let it set for 24 hours, added a new doorknob, and hung it up, and it just makes this room look so much better. This shelf was a last-minute decision. I saw the pieces when I was walking around at Lowe's and thought that this would work better, and then I could utilize more storage up here in these baskets. This laundry folding table just looks so much brighter in here. The laundry room overall looks so much more serene and calm, and it just was time for a facelift. 10 years of looking the same just got really tired, so I'm very excited. The floors turned out way better than anticipated. The lines don't match up perfectly, but the pattern is just busy enough you can't tell, but not so busy that it makes you dizzy. I got this little edge piece to seal the edge of the floor pop tile. It is instant caulk that I got on Amazon. I think 2 rolls was about $19, and you can also put this around your toilets and around your baseboards. I am so happy with how this turned out. Thank you for joining me for this laundry room makeover. We have a few more rooms to do, so come back to my channel to see more. Thank you. Bye.